Alright, I have no idea where that happened. So, welcome back to the stream, and welcome to a very unusual stream. I don't usually do this, and you'll see why in a minute. But, this is Photoghasts. So, what is Photoghasts? Photoghasts is a card game slash book slash printed media thing, which is haunted by ghosts. And we'll explore more in that in detail a little bit in just a minute. This is something I kickstarted, and it arrived just a day or two ago. Really cool thing. Looking forward to trying it out. This is also going to be like a pseudo unboxing stream, as it were, because I basically haven't touched anything. The card game's still in the packaging. Like, actually, you know what? Here, let's just push. You're also looking at a phone. This is a phone app. So here, let's go there. Loading up the Photoghasts app. And here is my capture zone, let's call it. So what you're looking at is a cardboard box that I've rigged up, and I actually posted a picture of this on Twitter. But the setup I have going for this is really jank. This thing here, that is the suction cup attachment for a car, like, phone holder thing, which I've stuck through a mic boom arm that I had that I wasn't using because this thing wasn't compatible with my regular microphone, which you're currently listening to. And it's a good thing, too, because if it was, then I wouldn't be able to talk, or I'd have to hold the mic at the same time. So you're listening to that. That's like fed through the mic boom arm to keep it stable, which is attached to this little rolling table I have, and it's all inside a big old cardboard box I just had left over. Oh, hey, Cookie Mon. Actually, you know what? I do, in fact, have a pack of tarot cards. After the stream's over, I can do that if I really wanted. I could actually do that. I totally forgot I had those. They're really cool tarot cards, actually. You know what? Here, hold on. I'll grab them. I picked these up at PAX East. Whoop.
A new follower.
Oh, thanks for the follow, Mana Ghosts. I believe that is also the creator of Photoghasts. So, welcome. Welcome to the stream. So anyway, about these tarot cards, I picked these up at PAX East a couple years ago. They're Sayonara Wild Hearts Major Arcana. Because Sayonara Wild Hearts is all about tarot cards. So I picked these up. I haven't opened them yet. But the designs for the cards are super cool in the game, so I imagine these ones are probably similar. Got nice holographic stuff going on in the box, too. Anyway. Yeah, no, thanks for putting it out there. It was a really cool idea. Actually, let me talk about that. So, as I was saying, the game is... It's a card game, right? So I have the card game package here. If you want, you can actually download the free Photoghasts app right there if you want. But it's Photoghasts, the haunted photo game. Dare you take on the haunted terrors that preside within each Photoghast, utilizing the power of augmented reality. Between 1 to 4 players can complete head-to-head via the official Photoghasts app, which you're actually currently looking at right now. That's what's streaming. To trigger the cards and defeat the spirits before the timer runs out. Steal points with an action card or play a high-value Photoghast card against your opponent, but risk losing it all. With scores calculated live by the app itself, share your wins on social media, or even play offline mode in a classic battle of the highest stat. Just beware. Play the game after 9 p.m. in real time, and you might disturb the original photographer himself. Then maybe you'll end up joining the Photoghasts. So, about that, actually, currently it is 12:09. It's just afternoon here, because I'm on East Coast. So, it's a nice, bright, sunny day out. But my clock thinks I'm currently in Russia, which is 9 p.m. So, we're going to see if we can get the photographer to show up. Alright, also I'm just gonna open up this thing real quick. Alright, so there's the box. So what I said this was going to be like a pseudo unboxing is because I did back the game on Kickstarter, so I got a couple extras that go along with it. I got, for example, this big old black envelope, which is a bunch of things inside of it. And I also got a digital copy of the, like, Photoghast book, which I can't really show on stream because it's a digital copy and this is a physical medium. So unfortunately, I can't do anything there. Also, like, check this out. See this? This is the play date. I can show this off. How's my, let's see, I'm at 1.943 quintillion cookies. At 2.1, I can buy whatever this thing is. I've just been leaving my cookie clicker game on. I'm actually really enjoying having this little box. I might have to invest in, like, a better version of this. Okay, check it out. It's my PS Vita. Woo! Alright, anyway, let's unbox this thing here. So, inside the envelope, we have a couple things. We have... Let's start with the small stuff. Photoghasts sticker. You can go there. Photoghasts.com if you want to check out the website. It's a, I'm not going to show this one off because it has a code on it. Oh, no, it's like a Game Boy kind of thing. But here. Thanks for your support. As thanks, I'd like to offer you 50% off my new Photoghasts augmented reality t-shirts on TeePublic. There's a code underneath my finger here. Coming to Kickstarter this autumn, Ghoster, the Chronicle History, a graphic novel. Sign up for the mailing list for details. And there is all social media on the back, bottom there. Nothing on the back. Alright. So over here, there's a couple interesting looking prints here. So each of these has like the little... Oop. Knock the camera a little bit. See, this is it's awkward because this thing is not attached properly. It's just literally just balanced in position, as it were. So on the back of each of these, you have like the little camera with a little skull, and it says here, Photoghasts, The Burnt Maid is the name of the picture. Artist Kit Buss, Photoghasts.com. And like this is the thing on the front. She's a lady, spooky lady on fire. And there's a bunch of these. They're all pretty cool looking. There's like this guy with wheat growing out of him. Got a lady who's screaming. An evil haunted Punch and Judy show, which is just a normal Punch and Judy show, but the audience is also in on it. A spooky man. Got a guy who looks kind of like, this is black and white. You got a guy who kind of looks like Death in like the old black and white movies. Like, you know, there's like a specific version of Death, which is just a guy wearing a black robe and a pale face in like old Eastern European movies. And finally, this guy who's a cool priest with no head, and he looks like a character from Lobotomy Corps or Library Ruining or something. The Headless Preacher, artist Bry Newman. Alright. Now, finally, in these prints, there is one last object here. It's a signed postcard on the back. Photoghasts, the Christmas Tree Man. Instructions. Download the Photoghasts app on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store via smartphone or tablet. Activate the app and follow any instructions before scanning in front of this postcard. And that's kind of what these are supposed to be. So, you've got a spooky man in the corner. The photograph has started moving. And that's just kind of the basic idea of what's going on here. I don't know if anything else is going to happen, but I like how he's got lights going up his body. This is basically what the idea is. You got a augmented reality photograph that has an animation tied to it. And that's just the postcard print that's in there. I can even move this around. So, augmented reality tracking has really improved over time. I remember back in the day, I tried making like an augmented reality thing that would attach like Iron Man pieces to my chest, and it was bad. It was really bad. Like, it would lose tracking if I moved too far to one side. We've really come a long way. Alright, So that takes care of that envelope. Let's put this over here for the moment. Over here. There we go. Actually, yeah, I really like this setup. I think I will invest in a more high quality version of this kind of thing. Possibly, you know, buying a couple pieces of green construction paper so I can green screen things. Let's get to the real meat and potatoes of this, though, shall we? Also, I gotta go back, because the instructions are not here. Also, you can see here on the left side, there's the book thing. That's for, I imagine, scanning the book, if I had that present, which I don't. Okay, so, you might want to lower the sound for a minute. I think this is loud.
Photoghasts.
Yeah, that's loud. Okay, let me just turn that down by like 30% or so. Okay, that should do it. Alright, let's go here for the moment. Right, so let's take... Well, that's good to hear. I've turned it down. Like, there's a lot of ambient whoa noises coming around, so I'm doing that to be on the safe side. Let's check out the instructions here. Dare take on the Photoghasts. Photoghasts is a turn-based augmented reality card game for between 1 to 4 players played via the official Photoghast app. The accompanying Photoghasts deck is made up of 30 Photoghast character cards, divided into 3 value tiers ranging from 1, 3, and 5 points, alongside 12 action cards. Gameplay is timed at 1-minute rounds per player. Using the Photoghast app on a single smartphone or tablet, between 1 to 4 players can go head-to-head in an attempt to exercise or fade each of the Photoghast cards before the timer runs out. The higher the points, the more chance of a scare. Each player is dealt 6 character cards and 3 action cards per round. Each time a Photoghast card is scanned with a smart device, a triggered animation is displayed representing the loss or gain of points. These points can also be stolen by your opponents by scanning the additional action cards. With points calculated by the app, players are able to share their scores online in the hopes of becoming the best Photoghaster. Incidentally, I will not be able to do anything online. My phone is currently set to airplane mode because I don't want to deal with constant pings or any phone calls. The dealer, or Photoghaster, shuffles and deals out 6 Photoghast character cards and 3 action cards per player. For single-player mode, the player must scan the same cards against the timer. Okay. The Photoghaster then activates the Photoghast app via their smart device and selects the correct number of players. A player 1 is chosen, and it's down to that player to draw first. Once the game loads, the first player scans their chosen card within the allocated 3-second timer. Once the card animates, player 1 must pass their smart device to the next player and turn their card face down. That player can choose skip on the smart device to finish the animation and start their turn. This action is repeated around all players until the timer runs out. Players can use their action cards instead of their character cards to steal or sabotage their opponent's scores. The winner is the player with the most points at the end of the round. Winners can share their points via the official Photoghasts app online, just hammering that point in. Camera shutter hold. Photoghast lies dormant in the photo, player safe, no points deducted. Photoghast fades and the ghost is exercised. Player gains the allocated card's points. Oh, I see. These are explaining what the actions and animations are. So let's start the game here. Let's do 1. Okay, prepare your cards. I'm doing that! I'm playing a horror game in real life!
Welcome, dear child, to my collection of souls. But before you start, here are my rules.
Also, hi, Minbron. How are you doing? Okay, also... Okay, so there's 2 instruction cards, and then the rest of these are... Okay, there's action cards, and then there's a deck of regular cards. Which, I'm not sure, do I shuffle? Hold on a second, let me see here. So their start... Okay, so, okay, action cards are only in online mode. Which is odd. Alright, well, good luck on your ride there. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your flight. Okay, hold on a second here. I gotta shuffle this deck up. So, I'm looking at the... Okay, so I'm looking at the instructions here. There's online mode and offline mode. Oh! Offline mode is no app. Oh! Oh, okay. So, since, I guess online mode technically is just as long as I have an app present. So, I'm just going to shuffle these cards up. I've got my deck here. Those are the character cards. Okay, so that's the character cards, and then I gotta shuffle up these action cards real quick. Okay, so according to this, I'm dealing out how many myself? I deal out 6 character cards, 3 action cards. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Here are my rules. Yeah? It's not letting me... I can't... Not letting me... Okay, I'm just gonna have to skip. It wasn't letting me click the next button.
Ready?
Exposed. Okay. The burn made. Shutter hold. Okay. Old Thorny. I got photoghasted! Oh, my points got removed. Tapping Billy. Did I lose? The Shroud.
Time's up.
-1 points. Okay, let me go back to the main menu here. Is this the main menu or
Photoghasts.
Okay, maybe if I click faster, I'll be able to see how this works. Also, I'm going to try out... There we go. Take 6 photos of gas and 3 cards of gold. Choose a first player to draw, allowing terrors to unfold. Choose your first chosen card and scan in good light, then turn it face down out of plain sight. Await the horror to appear past your opponent the device, then prepare your next card. No card should be played twice. Raise your score, beat all players but better move fast, or perhaps you too will become a Photoghast. Okay, so what do these action cards do?
Ready?
Okay, let's go with Tapping Billy again. Shutter Hold. How about Screamin' Fred? Got him. Okay, now let's try this. I'm gonna play the action card Double Exposure. On the Burnt Maid. The Cursed King. Oh no, I got gasted! Let's try Resurrecting.
Resurrection. Time's up.
Oh. It's really fast. I got a score of 0. Okay, so let me... Okay, hold on a second. Let's take a look at these cards here. I really wish I could go back to, like, the main menu instead of this main menu, because I'd like to be able to just look at the cards again. So let me just do this. And close the app. And go back to Photoghasts. I mean, slightly. I think it's a, like, balancing act of using the cards versus, you know, whatever is going on there. Let's see, is this gonna... Little unfortunate there's no, like, way to look at the cards without going into the game itself. Maybe the book can do that. Let me see. If I go to book, does that let me do it? So I guess Photographs Redux? It's... Okay, there. Does that work? Yeah, it seems like it is triggering it, but it's not really... Ah, okay, excellent. Well, I did I did figure that out. So, hey, it worked. But, like, okay. So we got Tapping Billy over here, for example. We've got Screaming Fred. Can it actually... Oh, it actually can handle 2 of them at once. That's impressive. There's the Burnt Maid. No real animation going on in this point, though, which is a little unfortunate, but hey, that's fine. Please don't stray down Kindling Lane. That's where the Burnt Maid has unspotted. Witnesses report the acrid smell of burning flowers when she's present. If she takes a liking to you, you'll be cinders before morning. And over here we have Screaming Fred. Never head down the old alley after 3 a.m. That's where Fred awaits. In life, Fred loved a drink, waking the neighbors daily with his drunken songs. Then one day, Fred vanished. Now Fred screams for others to join him. Alright, sounds good. Yeah, it would be nice to have these animations going, because then you can actually really appreciate them, whereas in the game, it's a little bit too hectic, and you have to keep going really fast to get through them. So another cool thing is each of these have like little stats here. I imagine this is probably the point value here, and you have Ancestry, Possession, Terror, and Torment stats. Or something. I really don't know what those refer to. The Burnt Maid's got stats off the charts, though. Look at that. 70, 69, 72, 67. Tapping Billy doesn't have much going for him. Let's see. Also, here are the instructions cards. Players take their cards and hold them so only top card is visible. Player 1, position on the left of the photograph, selects a category and reads out a chosen value. Torment! Oh, I see. So each of these are actually a thing. Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, so it's like right there. Following this, each player must read out their own points in the same category from their own cards. The player with the highest value within the chosen category wins the round, collecting all top cards and placing it at the back of their own stack. The winner must then choose a category from the next card. If 2 or more cards share the same point value, then all player cards are placed back in the pack and another character is selected from the next card. If he's collected all the cards at the end of the game wins. Okay, cool. So it's a secondary mode you can play using these stats here. Online mode. You have the dealer shuffles and deals out 6 Photoghasts character cards, which are these ones here. And 3 action cards per player, which are these. That's stuff like double exposure. Photoghasts then activates the Photoghasts app. Player 1 is chosen and draws first. Once the game loads, the first player scans their chosen card within the allocated 3-second timer. Once the card animates, player 1 must pass their smart device to the next player and then turn their card face down. Player can choose skip on the smart device, finishing the animation, and start their turn. This action is repeated until all players' time runs out. Can use their action card instead of character cards to steal or sabotage their opponent's scores. The winner is the player with the most points at the end of the round. I must pass through. So I guess it's draw then play? Yeah, it's draw then play a card from your hand. So what do we have here? We got dare you take on the Photoghasts. Accompanying Photoghast deck is made up of 30 Photoghast character cards divided into 3 value tiers ranging from 1, 3, and 5 points. So you got 1, 3 right there, for example. Alongside 12 action cards, gameplay is timed at 1 minute rounds per player. Using the Photoghast app on a single smartphone or tablet between 1 and 4 players can exercise Photoghasts. Each player is dealt 6 character rounds. Each time Photoghast card is scanned with a smart device, a triggered animation is displayed representing loss or gain of points. These points can also be stolen by your opponent by scanning the additional action cards. With points calculated by the app, players are able to increase their score online. Alright, so here we have the 3 types of scan. The Photoghast lies dormant in the photo. The player is safe, no points are deducted. The exposed Photoghast. The Photoghast fades and the ghost is exorcised. Player gains the allocated card's points. Photoscare dead. Player loses the allocated card's points. And there's Mr. Photoghasts, which I guess cause you to lose all your points if that happens. Resurrection. Player regains all their points lost from the last losing card. Card swap. Player takes all the points from the last player's scan. Double exposure. Player doubles their points. Overexposure. Random player has their last card's points removed. I see. So the only ones that are good for you are double exposure, resurrection, and card swap. Overexposure is an offensive move. Card swap is also offensive, but is good for you as well. Okay, this is good to have on the side here. So let's see here. I'm just going to move that down a little bit so you can scan that if you want to. Got my reference there. And I'll just throw this underneath this one. All right, so in that case, let's see here. So I have Tapping Billy, the Burnt Maid, Screaming Fred, the Cursed King. He's a 3-pointer. Said a curse caused the fall of the castle and the king. Today, Castle Lane is mostly just residential, but no one walks there at night. Tourists report being chased by a small twisted figure with bright eyes. His Majesty won't rest. We also have Old Thorny, who's a 3-pointer. Once, Old Thorny sold chestnuts before he too was buried under his beloved trees. Now, when the leaves turn brown, his prickle-covered bones rise up to protect his precious crops. Beware of his rustling tread. And the Shroud. If you're camping late, don't pitch in the far end of the field. No one knows where the Shroud came from, Locals say it was buried centuries ago as part of a ritual. Whatever's under the sheet is still hungry for pain. And I got my 3 overexposure, double exposure, and resurrection. So let's pop these over on the side, for the time being. I'm going to pull out 3 more cards for myself in the action card deck. We've got card swap, resurrection, and double exposure. And 6 ghosts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be able to see these or not prior to starting the game, but let's take a look here. So we've got the tall teacher. Don't venture down schoolmaster's yard after dark. The long-dead tall teacher has been witnessed, stooped and enraged. In life, he reveled in punishing his pupils with his monstrous cane. Cross his path, and you'll be next. Heartless Harriet. After her murder on prom night, Harriet returned to the university path. Students rarely notice her, but those who pick up her rotten corsage will feel her cold fingers tap their head. A sure sign they've been chosen. The Howling Hag. Never take the path by the field. That's where the witch was killed. They say the winds blew cold when her neck cracked. Now she waits, her hair still caught in that unseen wind. Dare look back and you'll be caught too in that cursed gale. Corridor Connie. Connie's father locked her away in an institution after he found out about the murders. When the building was unlocked 100 years later, Connie was still there, hungry for souls. Don't get too close. She'll scratch your eye out. The Marshman. It's dangerous to cross the marshes after dark. Too many have slipped into the murky depths, never to resurface. Many years ago, Marshman used to transport people across these waters, but now he just hauls them under. The Underwaver. What is it? People don't use the underpass, not since the Underwaver first appeared. He lures others to his upended reality. Those who fall victim recall his high-pitched laugh as he tears them from their reality to his dark, upended lair. So, let's go back. And let's try out the game, shall we? Okay. I think we can skip that. Pairing. Yeah. Underwaver. Okay, no points. Good, that's fine. Heartless Harriet. I'm going for the 3-pointers right now. Oh! Figures. Resurrection. Nah, that's fine. The tall teacher. Wow, I'm getting nothing here. Corridor Connie. Give me some points. Really? Nothing? Okay, so I got 3 points, but that's not even correct, because I should have only gotten, like... I should have gotten 0. Boy, that was unfortunate. At least I didn't get photoghassed. Okay, let's play again. Let's try that again. All right. I'm gonna try the same strategy this time. No, actually, double exposure. Underwaver. Oh my god, I got photoghassed! Resurrection. Oh! There's no coming back from that. There's no coming back from that one. Okay, so that's a strategy I guess you could theoretically use. I can't believe I got gassed right in the beginning. Let's try that one again. What does the double exposure do again? Doubles points, card swap. Takes all points in the last player's scan. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Double exposure. Underwaver. Howling Hag. Let's get some easy points in there. Marshman. Okay, that's another exposure. I'm gonna go for Corridor Connie. I got gassed. Let's see what happens. If I do this. Okay, so you can't resurrect a Photoghast, I guess. That's unfortunate. Alright, I'm gonna draw myself a new set of cards here. Ooh, overexposure, that's not good. One, two, three, 4, 5, and 6. Play again. Ah, I see. So that's what happens. Okay, I thought it was just like a negative whatever. I didn't realize it was a set to 0. Alright, here we go. Oh, I've got some high rollers in this one. Waving Man. That's a 5-point boy. Oh no! Boy, this is rough. Xmas Tree Man. Resurrection. Grave Face. Nothing. Okay, how about Lady Impatience? Card swap. Does that do anything? No. It's hard. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do now. Because I feel like, while it is fun to just, like, go through these cards and try and, like, survive, I gotta see how it works with multiple players. So let's set up a 2-player game. I'm gonna deal out 2 hands to myself. Like, I appreciate there being a single-player mode, but it really feels like I need another person to play off of for the maximum effect. Alright, so we're going to set up a 2-player game here. I'm going to deal out a pair of hand to myself, which is going to be a little awkward to do. I'm going to have 2 hands of cards just sitting off to the side here that I'm going to swap between. So we got 3 action cards per person. And 6. 6. 4, 6. There you go. 6 cards. Okay, player 1. I've drawn. Ready. Waving Man. Okay, next person is gonna get player 2, Underwaver. Player 1's gonna be an asshole. Player 2 is gonna use Brickface. Player 1 is gonna use the Headless Preacher. Alright, player 2 is going to use Graveface. Player 1 activates Overexposure. Which I guess removed his own card instead because he had nothing. Madame Rot. Player 1's in bad situation. Player 1 is going to activate Double Exposure. Player 2 is going to keep on with the Howling Hag. Ah. I was trying to go for the double exposure play into, like, the Crimson Hitcha. Yeah, this actually does play a lot better with multiple people. So, okay, so obviously there's, like, it's more fun. Anything's more fun with friends. But this actually does play a lot better with multiple people. Because if it's just a single person, it's really just a case of, like, scanning cards as fast as you can into the camera and just, like, you know, trying to survive that way, as it were. But with multiple people, you then have to work around, okay, I don't know how much time exactly I have left because we're on a timer. Can I get this card in and get this thing in before they're able to do something and snipe my points away from me? Can I... Hold on, is there... Ah, excellent. Let me see your elbow. Can you... I guess you could draw more action cards, couldn't you? I've kind of been avoiding drawing cards because I'm in a weird, very cramped setup here, which makes drawing awkward to do. But you could theoretically draw action cards, couldn't you? And you could, like, just keep refreshing and stuff and try and go for, like, a triple resurrection or something. Which, actually, I don't know if that would work. Would that work? Probably not. But yeah, having a more fleshed out one-player mode would be really interesting, especially since it's all AI-based, so it doesn't have the usual one-player issue of, like, I'm just sitting here playing against the rules. And once I get around the rules, I don't need to worry about anything ever again. Like, Solitaire is fun just because it's very restrictive, and it's more of a puzzle game, but it's not really like a fun card game. It's just a puzzle and a luck thing. But like, yeah. So in multiplayer though, this definitely is going to be a lot of fun. I wish I had 4 people around I could just like Photoghast it up with, because it'd be a lot of fun to just like go, okay, I'm going to snipe your card out of the way, or I'm going to like random player is their last card's points removed. Yeah, like just being able to do that, just being able to snipe somebody's stuff. Player takes all points in the last player's scan. So that's actually positionally based, whereas double overexposed is random, but could target yourself. Okay, so let's deal out some more cards to myself here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My CPU usage is active. Oh, thanks. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Where are there? 1, 2, 3, 1. I guess no, you can't draw from the action card deck. There's enough cards here for exactly 4 players. You can draw from the gas deck, but you can't draw from the action card deck. So those things become very valuable in that case. Alright, let's try this again. Play again. Let's see if I can do this correctly. I want to skip. There we go. Alright.
Ready.
Brickface! Exposed. Player 2 is going to double exposure. Player 1 is going to use Red-Eyed Whaler. Ah, I'm dead. The Shroud for player 2. Oh, well. Player 1 is going to resurrect. Gain their points back. Alright, player 2 is going to use Belltop. Tapping Billy for player 1. Okay, player 2 is gonna card swap, which took nothing. Player 1, Headless Preacher. He's just having a good time over there. Alright, player 2. Big money, big plays, Grave Face. Ah. I think they should at least let you finish off the animation. I guess that's why they have the skip button there, though, right? Okay, let's put these cards off to the side and go through some other ones. What do we have here? How many cards of these do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't have, You can fast forward if you want to. You can leave the animations behind. But if they don't spook, and if they don't spook, then there are no animations of mine. Yeah, I would say they're like, given how tight the given how tight like the timer is, and like the timer is very tight on this. You have 1 minute per player, so you have 2 minutes tops to like do all this stuff, and you're interacting with all these other players. Part of the design, I understand that. I would say at least like throw them a bone and just like get that last card just all the way through. There's no reason to like just cut it off halfway through. Especially since that last card could make or break some games. Unless it's an action card. If it's an action card, then do whatever. Alright, let's try that one more of these. Oof, bad draw. Screamin' Fred. Wow, immediately gasted. Immediately. Player 2 is gonna double exposure. Player 1's gonna marsh, man. Player 1 only has one cost cards right now. I'm gonna be real. Player 2 is going to double exposure again. I don't know if that works. We'll find out. Howling Hag. Ow! Negative points. Player 2's gonna go for the big money. Waving Man. Give me that money! Oh, only 5. Wait. Huh. Stealing points. Okay, well that could have gone... hey! Negative points. Nice. Exposed. Yeah, like for example right there, that animation had played through. That should have been a 0 pointer at the end of that, but it's -1 because it didn't go all the way through before the timer went out. That's just a little odd. Not like it's a huge issue, but it's just a little odd to work with. Okay. Very cool. Yeah, apart from that, on the game front, I think here. Apart from what I mentioned about, like, having the final animation or card go through properly, what I would think is... Let's see, random player has their last card's points removed. Double exposure, player doubles their points. Oh, wait, is double exposure... Hold on a second. Is double exposure current points? Oh, it's double point. Okay. Okay, so I could have actually won way easier if I'd known how that worked. Okay, I understand now. Okay, okay, I understand now. I understand. I thought it was a... The double points thing, I thought was a... I thought that was a your next card gives you double points, not double your current score. That was my mistake. I guess one thing I could say there, in terms of back-end stuff, is instead of having, if possible, I guess, instead of doing double exposure as whatever score is times 2, maybe what score plus itself, but absolute value. So that way it's also a good recovery mechanism if you're negative. If you're negative, you can use double exposure to get yourself back up to 0. And if you're positive, it just adds your score again instead of doubling it, which is mathematically the same thing, but lets you change it on the back end. That'd be my only, like, mechanical programming-wise suggestion. As for, like, the game itself. Okay, so now that I know how that works a little bit better, I would say it's still better played with multiple people. Whoops. I didn't want to drop my cards everywhere. That was a mistake. Still better play with multiple people. The animation thing at the end of the timer, again, like, I'd prefer if that was different. But, like, it is a fun, like, very hectic... Did that not make noise? Is it not making noise right now? It's not making noise right now. Why isn't it making noise? It should be making noise. Like, there should be a Photoghasts and, like, a really deep kind of noise going right now, but it's not, according to my mixer. That's weird. Huh. That's concerning. It's not, like, a huge problem, but it is still a little concerning. Anyway, like I was saying, as far as the game itself, with multiple players, it's very hectic. It's very much like a tight time-based thing, which is why I would like the timer to be a little looser if possible. Like, even if you don't do that, like, maybe have the timer stop during animations, so it's only during actual playtime things happen. So you have 2 minutes of, like, card going back and forth, which gives you a little bit more room to like do stuff in the game instead of having to worry about, like, an actual timer crunching in on you. What else? Mechanically, it's fine. It is a lot of RNG as far as which cards are what, and your ability to recover from that, again, it's hampered slightly by the timer, which, like, if you take a 5-hit or if you get photoghassed, that's pretty much it, unless it's, like, at the very start of the game. Because if you get photoghassed near the end of the game, that's it, you're done. You're out of the game permanently. I don't think Resurrection can fix that. The only thing you could do at that point is, if you're lucky enough to have, like, a card swap or something, you could steal it from somebody else. But it's, like, there's no recovery or catch-up mechanics currently in the game, which is something I would like to see. Also, having cards in Shutter Hold is an odd decision. Like, I get there's supposed to be, like, 3 states. There's, you get the points, you lose the points, you don't get any points. But it means that, like, Shutter Hold is basically just a time waster. If that's the intent, then that's fine, but I think it'd be nice if, like, the Shutter Holding built up, like, a stock of points, and you could theoretically use a card to force yourself to get the stock of points, or on a successful thing, you get the stock of points, and somebody else could steal that, or work around that, or if there's a negative, maybe your points go into the stock, or something like that. Something that gives a little bit more to play around with when you're dealing with other players, as opposed to just, oh, I got unlucky and all my score went away, or you got lucky and you got all the points. That's just me throwing out ideas for consideration, though. It's not like a knock against it. Right now, it is just a fun little thing to just pop on there and fiddle around with friends. And also, I'm going to go back for a second here. I'm going to restart the app. Like, apart from the apart from being like an actual card game, it is just a really cool little sort of art project thing. Let's turn on Photoghast Redux here. There we go. Like, it is a very cool product. Just the idea of having these haunted photographs is a really neat idea. Even without the cards attached, just having these AR photographs that would move around and do little spooky things is like a cool thing. And given that it has an actual card game attached to it, it's really interesting. Like, it's something God, what is that game called? There's an old PlayStation 2 game, Eye of Judgment or something, which it was basically trying to ape like Yu-Gi-Oh, where maybe this game should be Yu-Gi-Oh except with ghosts, which is just regular Yu-Gi-Oh, come to think of it. But it was like you put down the cards and then you had a PlayStation Eye toy looking at the battlefield, and would have little 3D models of the monsters come up and they would fight, like in a Yu-Gi-Oh, the TV show, where they would do little animations and all that. So it's a cool idea. I really do like it, and it's just like it's got this really cool flavor to it, and the added spooks are going to it. Just the card game, I feel like, needs to be a little bit more fleshed out, which shouldn't be too hard. It is primarily running through a digital app, so all you have to do is update it. I know I'm making that sound much easier than it probably actually is, but it's better than like reprinting all the cards, because you can push out an update that fixes everything as opposed to having to set out a second or third edition of the game. And in the meantime, you got these cool Haunted AR cards, which, again, I'm really impressed that these things work as well as they do. Because, here, I'll move it up so it's a little bit closer and the AR turns off. Like, these are just, like, photographs with the ghosts in them. They're not, like, QR codes or something that are tracking. It's tracking an actual picture, and it's able to determine differences between, like, these two different pictures, which is really impressive. Like, that is genuinely very impressive. So, you know what? Let's just go through these cards real quick and see what we got that I haven't really looked at. I've shown off a bunch of them just on the stream, like flipping through them in the game, but let's see how they look here. So, Brickface. The cold snap has seen Brickface return to his old hunting ground. Reports of whispers in the car park, claw marks on people's necks, and something scuttling into the brickwork. Death won't stop his bloodlust. We got the Cursed King. The Tattered Tent. Stay away from the nightly Punch and Judy show, which resides on the shore. The canvas ragged and worn, the puppeteer long dead. If you watch, you'll join those screeching puppets and their master. You'll never leave. That's actually something I'd like to point out as well. If you, if the card game didn't have a timer when the card animations were running, you could do a whole lot more stuff in the animations and have it work without, affecting the game balance. You could have longer animations, you could have more in-depth animations, you could have voiceover for things. You could do a whole lot of stuff. What is going on with my computer? It keeps telling me it's experiencing high CPU usage. I guess it is higher than normal. Not like it's 100% of the CPU or anything. No-Faced Morris. Ever since the incident, No-Faced Morris returns to perform his cursed ceremony, silently dancing on Midsummer's Eve. Be quick to turn your back on him, for once you watch his act, you'll never stop dancing. Corridor Connie. Crimson Hitcher.
The Crimson Hitcher still waits for a ride, long after the last hostage killed him during their escape. Watch for his red thumb and bloody face. And dare you stop, you too will be a bloodless husk before sunrise. Mr. Wheeze. After they expanded the underground line, people stopped using the third platform late at night. Mr. Wheeze loves the shadows and will do his best to lure you there too if you venture too far. Beware his rasping call. Madame Rot. Never cut through the orchard near dusk. Madame Rot has been sighted. In life she concealed her murdered apple pickers under the earth. Now she seeks others to bury. May her rotten face and putrid stench be a warning to all. Little Girl Gloom. The playground has long been cursed. It's where the plague victims were buried. Now they hide in the long grass. Sit on the swings and you might feel them tug at your toes, until you too are dragged into the cold soil below. Yeah, we got the shroud. Graveface, Torment 100. Look at this guy. He's a beefy boy. Never cut through the old graveyard. Workers reported a new stone, blank, unnamed, and unquiet. When gravediggers disturbed the ground, something forgotten climbed out of the soil. It wants more bodies. Stay away. Those who forget to throw out their Xmas trees after the 12th night fear the wrath of the Xmas tree man. An ancient thing, families report screams and a trail of dead pine needles leading to a solid wall. Their children taken. In life, Beltop was assigned to ring the ancient bells for his brethren in times of crisis. But one night he slept while his church burned, his precious bell crushing him. Now he lurks in the tower, awaiting other souls. No one rents the two-door house in town. Tenants were kept awake by the sound of weeping and footsteps from the upper quarters. A high-pitched voice, maddened, hysterical. Those who investigate are lost inside. Forever. No one uses the blue classroom anymore. It's always locked. Once a janitor forgot and left the door open, but he paid the price. Whatever happens, never let Billy in. The child was locked out in the cold for a good reason. The headless preacher regularly stands aloft to the old rectory roof, quivering and shaking his arms as if in worship. Catch his attention and you'll find him aloft your house, summoning the old gods to punish the non-believers. Don't pass Hangman's Descent after sundown. They say Hanging Harry still floats high above the cold streets, haunting the villagers who grew bored of his bloodlust and strung him up. Stop a while and he may haul you up with him. There's Heartless Margaret. Old Thorny. Lady Impatience. No one knows for certain when Lady Impatience first appeared. She taps her wrist, quietly asking when the next train is due. Those who answer are torn into a void where time is twisted, cast out years later onto the train tracks. Skullface Sal. Sal used to ply her wares by the riverside. No one knows who drowned her, only that she was rags and bones when her body was found. Now Sal's gargled cries lure others to a similar, watery grave. The Tall Teacher. Stub-armed Stitch. The cornfield now sits overgrown. They say bones had been found amidst the crops, dating back centuries. Too many had gone missing amongst the furrows. Under the beady eyes of the scarecrow, Never underestimate its ragged reach. The Underwaver. Brother Chatters. Avoid the stairs in the old manor house. Brother Chatters lurks atop the stair, gabbling with rage at disoriented visitors. He's often mistaken for a decor, but his ghastly face is too lifelike. Beware, or he'll take you into his folds. The Burnt Maid. Screamin' Fred. The Marshman. The Howling Hag. And the Waving Man. There have been 3 sightings of the Waving Man in the path in the park. His head crushed, a remnant of an old pilgrim deity. Stand still and you'll see him greet you from afar, but if you wave back, he'll never leave your side.
There we go. And that's the Photoghasts deck. So, as far as those go, like, let's just talk about the quality. Good quality cards. And I really do like the style that's going on there. They're all very classical style, urban legends and horror myths and all that sort of thing. And the photographs are clearly like real photographs that have had the ghosts added to them, which is a very fun little aesthetic. I remember I actually did one years ago when I was... Okay, so what these do is remind me of years ago when I was walking around at like, must have been like 2 or 3 in the morning. Lights were on all around town. There's street lamps. There were lights in buildings because it was a college campus. But it was foggy, and all the lights seemed very dim and ethereal. And then I went down a long street, and turning around at the far end, the street was black. No lights on the street, just at the far end there was a street light at the corner. And that's the kind of scene where one would expect to see a man standing at the street lamp in the fog. His features just slightly too indistinct to make out, if he had any at all. Slightly taller than you think he probably should be. But it's hard to tell from a distance. You feel like you're being watched by him, but it's impossible to tell. Because you can't see any eyes, and you're not sure if that's just because he's so far away, or he simply doesn't have any to see you with. Turning around, you can feel the eyes boring into the back of your head. You don't hear the sound of footsteps behind you, but it feels like he's getting closer with each step you take further away from the corner. You know if you turn around, your worst fears could be confirmed. It could be nothing. He could be gone. But you can't take the chance that he isn't. You round the corner, back into your home. You look outside. The fog is still there, and in the far distance, the street lamp with no figure. Were you imagining things? Did they simply leave? Or are they simply hidden in the darkness, right beside your window? And that's the kind of feeling these cards are kind of evoking. Real places with a story that could be, fanciful perhaps, but it's the kind of story that you would hear in a ghost tale. You'd hear about the man who was killed while singing drunkenly, and now every night he carouses around town looking for more people to join him in his dead revelry. You hear about the haunted Punch and Judy show, or the guy who died in a church fire. All these things are stories that you would hear if you were telling ghost stories. Like, I love the aesthetic of these things. I really do. I totally gel with this thing, but unfortunately, it's not coming quite through perfectly in the app right now because it's missing the crucial aspect that makes it move and come alive. Unfortunately, that's only available in the game mode, which is limited in time I'm able to do things with them. Basically. But yeah, that's Photoghasts. I don't think there's much else for me to do with that until I get 4 people into a game. But you can check out the game yourself. Photoghasts.com. There is the QR code if you want to download the app, as well as the information. Go check that out. I would say this probably does work best in a scenario like I have it, because I currently have my phone hooked up to my TV. So I can see everything on a larger screen while the phone is sort of locked into position here, since I can't really move it around. Yeah, like, it would be great for Halloween. Especially, I'm not saying jump scares are good, but it would be good if they, like, added more sound effects to add a little bit jump scare just to it. Like, when you die, just have a little, like, screech or a little, like, groan or something that adds a little bit more oomph to it when the ghost kills you. Like, it's a very fun game, and I love the aesthetic and the idea behind it. Just, the game itself needs a little bit more work, I think. Actually, you know what else as well? This would also be... Also, hi, Cookiemon. I didn't see you come in there. Or maybe I did. No, I did. I did see you come in there. I forgot. Yeah, you were here. I thought you were somebody else for a second. Or I thought somebody else wrote those messages. Anyway. What I would also like to see, actually... Well, this is really cool. And it's really good for, like... Yeah, you were here early. My brain sort of messed up for a minute there. But what I would like to see, in addition to these kinds of things... Yeah, that's fair. Like, the ghost story aesthetic is perfect for this, because it's all about, like, capturing the ghost on camera, which is, you know, that's not an uncommon sort of thing to happen in games. But what I would like is, like, another version of this game, which is maybe about aliens as well. Because this is all ghosts. What about, like, capturing alien encounters on film, and you're getting and you have to try, like, avoid getting abducted by the aliens or something like that. Like, there's a lot more supernatural stuff that you could do besides just ghosts. Spirits in the picture, of course, like, the more classic thing, but sort of suspending your disbelief a little bit, I think it'd be really cool to throw in cryptids or aliens or that sort of thing, and just add in more kinds of monster that you're interacting with in the game. Okay, now I'm trying to fit this back in the box, but it's just like slightly too big to get in there comfortably. There we go. This is like a very tight fit. There we go. Photoghasts. The haunted photo game. Very cool game. It doesn't feel low quality as well. This isn't just like very low quality cards. These actually do feel like decent. This would be a good playing card deck if I had playing cards in them. Like, this is cool. I do like this. Don't get me wrong. I may have been like a little harsh on the game itself, but I do think it's a very cool idea, and I do think it is fixable. It's not like a completely broken, unplayable mess. The basic concept is very cool, and you can definitely work around that to make something very interesting. And the game itself is fine at the moment. Just a little rough around the edges, I feel like. That's my own personal opinion, though. So if you thought that was interesting, again, you can go check those out at photoghasts.com. That's enough for Photoghasts for me, though, I think. Until I get 4 people to play with me. But I did promise a tarot card reading, didn't I? So let's try this out. I'm going to bust open this just for funsies. While I've got this whole miserable setup going on, I might as well try these out. It's finally time for me to bust open this pack of tarot cards I've had for years now. When was the last PAX I went to? 2019 probably? It was right before COVID. So here we are. The Sayonara Wild Hearts Major Arcana Tarot deck. Yeah, look at those. Look at that. Nice. So each one of the cards is holographic. Oops. Look at those designs. And on the back is the Sayonara Wild Hearts. Sayonara Wild Heart. Holographic as well. Okay, so how do you do a tarot reading? Okay. Okay, so it's how to do a reading. Let's do a quick tarot reading here just for funsies, shall we? I'm just shuffling up the cards, as it were. I know you're supposed to have like reversed cards, but I don't know how that works. Like, or do you just like mix them around? Like these things actually have a direction back, so I can't really do that easily. All right, we have our shuffled tarot deck here. Okay. I guess let's do 3-card spread. So ask the deck a question. What is the question? Will I hit 1 million subs this year? The answer is no, but let's see what it says, shall we? Just gonna put these in here for now. Alright, fine. Will Cookiemon win the lottery? So I believe this is supposed to be the past card, right? Past is justice. No, it's okay. Card 1 represents what you can do to surrender the change in your life. Okay, what did the tarot card meaning? Okay. Tarot card meanings. Justice. Let's see. Justice tarot card has to do with moral sensitivity and that which gives rise to empathy, compassion, and the sense of fairness. Since the time of Solomon, this message has represented a standard for the humane and fair-minded treatment of other beings, often including the image of a fulcrum or scale, which helps to balance competing needs against the greater good, and a two-edged sword to symbolize the precision needed to make clear judgments. This card reminds us to be careful to attend to important details. It's a mistake to overlook or minimize anything where this card is concerned. Love karma is represented here. What goes around comes around. Okay, so it says, okay, this is supposed to represent what you can do to surrender to the change in your life. It says what goes around comes around, represents karma. So, I guess that would mean attend to important details. Mistake to overlook or minimize anything when this card is concerned. Maybe that means you have to. Okay, so what details would there be for a lottery? What goes around comes around. Maybe this is like your previous relationships in your workplace will have something to do with you winning the lottery. Maybe you won't win, but maybe because you've done good deeds for other people, they'll help you win. Yeah, I guess that works too. That can also be it. All right, so next card is offers direction on caring for yourself during this process. Caring for yourself. The Hermit. Don't go outside. Let's see, what does the Hermit say? Challenge of the Hermit card is to be able to recognize a teacher in a humble disguise. The font of mysterious knowledge will not make it easy for students to acquire his wisdom, as it takes time and long contemplation to fathom what he knows. He often speaks wordlessly or in ancient and barbaric tongues, communicating with the elements, animals, and nature herself. Oh, that's fair. While an hourglass was an identifying feature of the earliest Hermit Tower cards, more modern cards have shifted the metaphor, showing more or less light released from his lantern. In either case, the Hermit card reminds us of the value of time away from the hubbub of civic life to relax the ego into communion with nature. So I guess this is to care for yourself. To care for yourself during the process of winning the lottery. Remove yourself from your earthly desires. Learn to appreciate life as you have it, so that even if you fail the lottery, you'll still win, knowing that you have that which you desired already, and in your heart you know that the lottery is merely a medal showing that you have acquired everything you needed. And card 3 is a guide for centering yourself in this time of change. That is the Empress. The Empress is a major arcana or trump card, portrays the energy of the Great Mother. She is nature around us, but also within us, the ever-unfolding source of life-giving power. The Empress is often pictured as a pre-Christian goddess, as the one whom the High Priestess is channeling down to earth for the rest of us. In medieval Europe, Empress was painted to represent whatever queen currently ruled the land, probably to satisfy the Inquisitors, but the scholars of the Renaissance and beyond had no doubt of her true identity. She could not be fully revealed on tarot cards as the woman clothed with the sun until after the French Revolution. The supreme archetype of femininity also symbolizes fertility. It is the Empress who provides us nourishment and security. She is also sometimes seen as delighting us with flowers and fruit. A potentially terrifying aspect of this archetype manifests itself whenever karmic mood swings wipe out our plans, like a storm that has come upon us. Whatever happens, the Empress is the source of our embodiment and the natural law. She might be called the Great Recycler. I mean, clearly, yeah. Which is why the Emperor is probably Palpatine. There's probably a Star Wars tarot deck. I imagine there probably is. Like, would be shocked if there wasn't. There's a Star Wars everything. Okay, so going by this one, guide for centering yourself. The Empress, who gives us nourishment and security, also seems to line us with flowers and fruit. Symbolizes fertility. I guess it symbolizes fertility, so I guess bang your wife a lot to center yourself during this trying time of waiting for the lottery. Alternatively, let's see. Potentially terrifying aspect of the archetype manifests itself whenever karmic mood swings wipe out our plans, like a storm that has come upon us. I guess that is don't make plans using the money that you don't have. I guess that's one way to read it. Just like what goes around comes around. People you've helped in the past may lead to you winning the lottery in some way, shape, or fashion. Remove yourself from the desires of the flesh. Remember that you already have everything you need. And keep in mind that you don't have the money yet, so don't spend it. No matter what happens. That said, you know what's a great investment? Photoghasts. Alternatively, a subscription to twitch.tv/IotoCorp. Both of those will give you no money back, but at least in Photoghasts' case, you'll get a deck of cards that you can play with people. And in the case of its subscription here, I'll get money. Anyway, those are cool cards. I like them. This was a good buy. I think this is like $15 or something. Very cool. Is there anything else I should do while I have this camera set up? Because I've got a lot of... This thing's such a pain to put together. It's such a pain. I really don't want to take it apart until I'm done with it, but at the same time... Oh, well, there you go. Don't spend the money you don't have on that raise. Yeah, like I said, don't worry about it. Just do whatever. In the words of the Empress, buy your wife some flowers. That's the real lottery you can win. Also, again, take a look at this thing. Look at this little teeny thing. And when you turn it on, it like has a little eye that turns on like that. And you have the little crank. Oh, you know what else I can show off? Check out. Look at this. A Steam Deck. It's big. Very large. I can't actually show it on screen. It's a little dusty on the cover. That's about all I can show off there. I don't know. I really have anything else left. Like, I kind of put it all together for Photoghasts, and I've gone through Photoghasts. Like, the only thing I could possibly do more with Photoghasts at this point is playing a 4-player game by myself, which isn't going to be much different from playing a 2-player game, so I don't really need to do that. So, Guess I'll just end the stream in a bit. I really don't know. Oh, I'll check this out. The Pride and Joy. The Future's Future. There's Nina Struthers, and on the back, Devolver Digital. It's my loot box coin. I also have this. Oops. It's a Boomerang X Boomerang. One of 50. Only 50 of those exist in the world. I think. No, actually, that was that was like a special collectible from Devolver when they were promoting that game. And really about it. I don't have anything else I can like put on the camera. I can like show off my Absolver mask. Take a look at this. It's heavy. Made of resin. It's also wearable. Like, it actually has a strap on the back here. You can actually put this thing on. Oh, and I've also got this little guy. Check this out. Little castle crasher. So this guy was in a gacha thing at PAX East 2015 or 16 or 17 or something like that. The Behemoth is there, and they have like a little gacha thing. You can buy a little gacha castle crasher for like it's like $10 or something. Yeah, it's a pretty fun game. This is mine. What else? Do I have anything else here? Not really. Although I do have this. Yeah, I played a little bit of it. I haven't played like a large amount of it, but I played a bit. I do have this, though. This is the pride and joy of my gaming collection. Steel Battalion original copy for the Xbox original. The disc isn't in here. It's currently in the Xbox original. They do have a Jet Set Radio Future Sega GT 2002 demo disc in there. Comes with the manual, which is actually incredibly important and vital because this is how you learn to control the game. There's no tutorial in the game. You have to read the manual in order to play the game. That's going to be streamed at some point. Do you have anything else to show off? Not really. Got like some random pieces of swag, a couple random odds and ends, but nothing that'd be like interesting. I'm just kind of showing off whatever I've got. Like I got my dice bag over here. If you want to see a dice bag, I try to make the most of this little like. I'm trying to make the most of this fucking setup I have, but like here, my dice bag, my old dice bag. Colorful dice, all shapes and sizes. This is probably like, oh god, it's so grimy. So grimy. that's basically it. I got nothing else to show. Oh, actually, you know what? Here, one last thing. Just for funsies. Take a look at this. So this here is the Duke. It's a recreation of the original Xbox One controller, or the original Xbox original controller. They actually made a secondary version of it, much smaller, more compact, and less of a chore to lug around, which looked like this. Like this is a you can tell it's an original one because it's very dusty. Like this is sort of what the second version of the Xbox original controller looked at before the 360 came out and made like a really good controller. But the Duke is the original one. Check this out when I plug it in. So when you plug it in, it actually runs the original Xbox turn on screen animation, which is pretty sick. And of course you have the full buttons. These things used to be what passed for the triggers, because this one has trigger buttons, but the original one didn't have those. Or it had bumpers. Good times. Yeah, so that... Okay, so I should point out, the animation here, the animation that plays here, that's brand new for this one. The original did not do that. The original, I think, just had like a big Xbox logo sticker right there. The added animation, though, is just for funsies because, you know, it's made from like 2022 or whatever. It's a cool thing. Do I have anything else to show off? Not really. I got this little bit of swag that I got given. I got sent this little bit of Cyberpunk 2077 swag from CD Projekt Red. It's a Maelstrom mug. Yeah, no, the original had the original just had the sticker because the original animation was there, you know, on the TV. You didn't need to play it on that. Actually, you know what? I do have a little bit more. Hold on, let me grab some swag. Alright, so I promise these are the last things I'm gonna show off. Because I'm basically just like stretching to hit 2 hours at this point. But these are the last things I'm gonna show off. So at PAX East, I was with some people, and we were running around on the last day, and they said, hey, you know what? We aren't selling these ones. These are the display models. You want to just take them? And we went, sure. So we went to the Vanguard booth, and we got a plush papyrus from Undertale. You can see here it's the Papyrus Collector's plush toy. Kind of hard to show off in full, but it's all there. It's all there, bud. Similarly, got a Tem plush. And This one, I believe, was actually given to me to hold on for somebody else. And it's a duck game duck. So, this one was given to me as for somebody else. The reason I was given the Temi and the Papyrus is because those were the display models, which means that like 100 people touch them, so they can't sell those. In fact, after handling those, I should probably wash my hands. Like I don't know how clean those things are. They've been sitting on a closet shelf for like 3 years or so. So I imagine they're probably fine, but you can't be sure, you know? Okay, I still haven't hit 2 hours yet. Here, have a look at my mug. It's can't see it because it's full of water. It's a Wild Bill's soda mug, which I got at PAX East. What year was this? Doesn't say. Got it at PAX East. Good deal, because it gives you free soda anytime there's a Wild Bill's event. Anywhere. Oh god, do I have anything else? Come on, 4 minutes. Oh yeah, here, take a look at this thing. Take a look at this piece of shit. So, take a look at this. This is the Amazon Luna controller for Amazon's Luna streaming service. In comparison, this is the Google Stadia controller for Google's Stadia streaming service. I use this one a lot. This is the special edition, like night purple blue color that they have, which you can't get anymore. It's a special edition for people who signed up early. I actually really like that controller. It's very comfortable to use. This thing, on the other hand, is a piece of shit. This is the least comfortable controller I have ever had the displeasure of holding. And that is that's somebody who has one of these, a Steam controller, and uses it all the time. This thing is a piece of garbage to hold. Like, it is awful. Just holding it feels bad. And all the buttons are like bad, and it does not feel good. Like, also it has Alexa built in so you can launch your games with it. The only good thing I'd say is it actually runs on AA batteries. Like, this is a battery pack thing right here. These are the same batteries that came with it. I just kept them in there. Like, this thing is just a piece of garbage to hold. My hand hurts just from holding it just that little bit. It's not like a lot of pain, but I hate that controller. I hate that controller so much. You have no idea. Okay, anything else? Do I have anything else? I'm kind of running out of stuff to just throw on the screen. Here, you like this? It's the Sekiro. Here, it's the Sekiro Shadows Die Twice Mortal Blade letter opener. Or How about this? Physical copy of The Gamers, Darkness Rising. Excellent movie if you like D&D or Pathfinder. Absolutely fantastic movie. Oh yeah, Sekiro is fantastic. Absolutely great game. Okay, hold on. One more. Here, how about this? No, I can't move that one. Ah, okay, I guess I can move it now. Too many things just fell over. How about this? Check this out. First collector's edition I ever bought. Fallout 3 collector's edition came in a big old tin. Lunch pail tin. It also came with a Vault Boy clock that you could actually put on your arm because it was like a Vault Boy and had like a closing latch on the arm. But I have no idea where that thing is. And it wasn't a very good clock when I used it. Still probably got my still probably have my Fallout 3 like guidebook someplace around. I don't know where it is though. Actually, you know what? Here, have that this. Here, you know what? Have we hit 2 hours yet? Yes. Excellent. I can stop now. But here, just before I go, how about this? It's another Kickstarter I backed, which was run by was involved with somebody I know, called Shadow of Prometheus. It's a book. It's an RPG. Same people are also currently running a Kickstarter to run their own card game. You can go check that out. It's Autocracy Studios. AUTHOCRACY Studios. Something else I got there too. But now that I've done that, now that I managed to buy enough time to make this full 2-hour stream, that's where we're going to leave that. Again, thanks for stopping by. Check out Photoghasts. Photoghasts.com. Very fun little game. Definitely check that out for like Halloween type stuff. And just in general, it's interesting. Halloween or like, it's actually summer, so it's a great day. It's a great time for sleepovers. But like, this is a great kind of like little thing. I wouldn't say it's best for adult gaming groups, but it's probably great for like teenagers. Just a fun little thing to play around with, and they get spooked every so often, and they're learning the cards and finding out all these cool stories, which lets their imaginations go. So yeah, go check out Photoghasts. But that'll be that for the. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening, what have you. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Cookiemon. And thanks once again to Managos for stopping by. Congratulations on the launch. Looking forward to checking out the future updates and the one-player version Kickstarter thing. That's like more of a fleshed out thing than the version here. Go check that out. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be back tomorrow with Dial Town, where I get to destroy my voice for several hours. And see you next time.